Welcome to the quiz show that demands nothing less than perfection. Behind their screen, the 4 contestants will be hoping their knowledge is flawless because one single mistake could give the game away. This is perfection. Hello and welcome to Perfection, the quiz show where only perfect play is good enough. Behind me are the contestants. We call them the usual suspects. They're in our isolation room. In a moment, we'll find out which one of them has been randomly selected to join me here to play Perfection. They will then face a series of true or false statements. For example, if I said Boz was an early pen name of Charles Dickens, would you say that's true or false? Well, if you'd said true, I can tell you you'd be right. Answering true or false might seem easy, but if the contestant gets a single answer wrong, their opponents, the usual suspects, will be allowed into the game to capitalise on their mistakes. Each usual suspect will play a maximum of 8 games, so they will need to think carefully and strategically about how to play the perfect game and when to come down to help. So, you know how the game works. Let's meet the usual suspects.
Hi, my name's Debbie. I'm from Essex. I'm a duty manager of a leisure centre and this is my first game.
Hi, my name's Sean. I'm from Brentford in Middlesex. I'm a transport manager and this is my first game.
Hi, my name's Richie. I'm from Cramlington. I'm a business change manager and this is my 4th game.
Hi, I'm Ben from South East London. I'm a call centre manager and this is my 5th game.
Best of luck to you all as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play Perfection. Richie, it's you. Please come down and join me. Richie, welcome to the game.
Thank you very much.
I've been reading your bio, which tells me that you're very keen on running.
I've just started running because I'm doing a half marathon this year, so it's my 40th year on this planet, so I thought, why not?
Yeah, every time I hit a new decade, I go, I better get myself back in shape.
Yeah.
You're quite an adrenaline junkie, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Bungee jumping?
Bungee jumped in Thailand, parachute jump, what else? Sorbing.
Oh, that's the one where you get in a ball and just roll down the hill?
Yeah, for the fun of it.
Isn't that just like putting yourself in a giant washing machine?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I threw water in as well, so it was like...
Is that right? Were you clean?
It was in the wash cycle, yeah.
All right, look, best of luck. We better get on with the show, really. It's
Thank
now
you very
you
much.
versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates, they're now your enemies. Their job is to stop you from winning the prize fund because your failure will mean the prize money rolls over to the next game, where one of them could be playing down here for a bigger total. Every game on Perfection is worth £1,000. Here's the good news for you. Nobody's won the last 4 games, so the prize fund currently stands at £5,000. Any idea what you're going to spend that on?
Well, we're going to Florida this year for a family holiday, so
Nice.
I'd like to spend money for that, which would be amazing.
Nice. All right, well, best of luck.
you very
Here's how
much.
the game works. You'll play 3 rounds, then a final. Every round that you achieve perfection makes the final easier for you. However, if your performance is anything less than perfect, the usual suspects here will step in and try and steal the round, making the final that much harder for you. And more of that to follow later. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. When they go like this into silhouette, you can talk through your answers without giving away any vital knowledge, OK?
Okay, yep.
Each round consists of 4 true or false statements. You'll be answering against the clock and you'll only have 45 seconds. And once you give an answer, your first answer, I have to accept that and it will be locked in.
Okay.
Understand?
Yep.
Ready to
Thank
get
you.
started?
Yeah, bring it on.
Good. Let's play Perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds start now. A remake of The Terminator was released in 2014.
Never heard of it. Well, this year. False.
False. In Greek myth, Dionysus was the son of Zeus.
That does ring a bell. I did have a son. I'll go true for that one, yeah.
True. New York is the capital of the USA.
False.
False. And finally, Lady Gaga won the 2009 World Series of Poker.
False.
False. And with time to spare, you've answered all 4 very confidently, I thought.
It was okay, yeah.
Yeah?
I was unsure about the capital of the USA, even though I'm going, so I should know that.
Well, before we reveal exactly how well you've done, it's time to bring back the usual suspects and see what they've got to say. Remember, they'll be able to hear you now.
Okay.
So here are the 4 statements. Let's have a look. What do you make of Richie's answers, Ben?
I think he's done all right, actually. I'm not too sure about B.
Sean?
I believe that he could have got perfection there.
All right, smashing. Debbie?
The Lady Gaga question is so random it could be true.
Mixed bag there from the usual suspects. Let's see how many are correct. Richie, congratulations, you have achieved perfection. Pretty fair to say when you came down to play, you were a little bit nervous.
A little bit, yeah.
That's got to take the edge off it, hasn't it?
It's fine now.
Right, let's go through a bit more detail, shall we? A remake of The Terminator was released in 2014. True or false? Well, of course, we know it's false. And what they were trying to lead you into, I think, there was a remake of RoboCop. They were trying to mix you up on that. In Greek myth, Dionysus was the son of Zeus, and that is, of course, true. New York is the capital of the USA. True or false? False, absolutely. Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kind of makes sense when you say it, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Lady Gaga won the 2009 World Series of Poker. True or false? And of course, it is false, although she did have a hit with Poker Face.
Yeah, yeah.
In 2009. See? Well, brilliant. As a result of that perfect performance, Richie, you've made winning the prize fund that much easier. Let's take a look at your final board. These 6 spaces need to be filled with subject categories.
Okay.
Here are your final round category options, starting with comedy duos, running through Inferno's British TV and onto salads, with many more in between. Now, because you won the round, you've earned the right to choose 2 categories to add to the board. If the usual suspects had have won the round, they'd be choosing 2 categories, trying to make things tougher for you. But they didn't, and you did, so you get to choose. Which 2 would you like?
I think I'll go for British TV first.
British TV goes over.
And comedy duos.
And comedy duos goes into the final. Well, usual suspects. He did very well there, didn't he?
He did,
And
yeah.
Sean, you're absolutely right about him having perfection. So we'll see you in the next round. In the meantime, cheerio. And away they go. Now that with them gone and they can't hear you, let's have a little chat about that list, shall we? So which 2 will you be keen to avoid?
Rivers, probably. Bestsellers.
And the next 2 you'll be choosing, given the chance?
Cocktails, salads.
Who doesn't like a
You know,
cocktail?
yeah, with a salad.
As I say, who doesn't like a cocktail? All right, Richie, you'll have made a great start to the game. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's press on
do
then
it.
and play round 2. Your 45 seconds starts now. China's terracotta warriors were discovered in 1974.
I think it was a lot earlier than that. So false.
False. The writers Henry and Arthur Miller were brothers.
False.
False. Bruce Springsteen's last UK #1 album was in 1994.
No, I'd say you had a... No, go on, I think that's true, yeah.
True. And
yeah.
finally, Barcelona won the 2014 Champions League.
I'm not really a football fan. False.
False. There you go. Good use of the time. You were running out, but you had an eye on it anyway, didn't
yeah.
you? Didn't sound
We'll
as
see.
confident as the first round.
Yeah, yeah. The first couple, yes, but then it died off after that.
All right, well, before we
hopefully
find
we'll
out
see.
exactly how well
Yeah.
you've done, let's have a chat with the usual suspects again, shall we? Sean, start us off this time. Looking at those answers, do you think he's achieved perfection?
I'm not too sure about B and C.
Right. Debbie?
Yeah, same for me. I think C. Maybe he's had an album that went to #1 later than 94. So I'd question that one.
Ben?
I think maybe A is a bit questionable.
All right, Richie, the moment of truth. Let's find out how many are correct. Just 2 out of 4 on this occasion, certainly not the full house you require. And as a result, the usual suspects have a chance to steal the round from you if they can find the correct 2 to change. So you might want to have a chat now.
It's okay. Which ones did you say you thought?
I thought he had, Bruce Springsteen maybe has had a later album
Okay.
I think he has as well.
than 94.
So we want C to
I
go
think
to
possibly
false.
change C to false.
Okay. And the second one?
Personally, I think B. I think they could have been brothers. D is definitely right.
Okay.
It is false. Real Madrid
Right.
won that. And I think China's terracotta warriors were found in the 1980s. I think.
So we want B to go to true. Yeah.
Yes.
Could we have B to go to true, please?
Yep, B changes from false to true, and the other one,
C to go to false.
and C changes to false, leaving A and D as answered by Richie. Okay, usual suspects. Let's find out what the correct answers are. China's terracotta warriors were discovered in 1974. Is that true or false? It's true, usual suspects. That's the one you needed to change. I'm afraid, as a result, you cannot achieve perfection. Did you manage to achieve perfection at home? Let's go through the rest of those, shall we? Moving on, the writers Henry and Arthur Miller were brothers. True or false? False. Weren't related at all. Bruce Springsteen's last UK #1 album was in 1994. True or false? Yeah, that one's false. You were right to change that one. High Hopes topped the chart in January 2014. Barcelona won the 2014 Champions League. True or false? False, because, as you said, Sean, who won it?
Real Madrid. I believe.
Real Madrid in a very good final against Atletico Madrid.
Exciting.
All right, well, usual suspects. Had you achieved perfection, you could now have the opportunity of making Richie's chance of winning the prize fund a lot harder. Let's have a look at the final board for a second, because it's currently occupied with only 2 subject categories chosen by Richie, and we're not going to be adding any more this time round, are we? Because no one won the round. So what do? Well, the 2 categories that were due to be chosen will now be carried over into the next round, so 4 categories will be on offer in round 3, which is when we will see you again, usual suspects. So, cheerio. Got away with it there, didn't you? Really?
I mean, good, yeah.
So this would be a good one to win next, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfection this time
It
round?
could be a really good round, yeah.
All right then, with 4 categories on offer, let's move on and play round 3. Your 45 seconds start now. There are 31 days in October.
That is true.
True.
Just gone through the rain.
Triage is a medical term.
True.
True. The Titanic was over 500 metres long.
I'm not sure about this one. 500 metres. Yeah, true.
True. And finally, Nigel Hawthorne wrote The Scarlet Letter.
No idea about this. False.
False. And you've answered all 4 statements. Did you go false there just because you had 3
Yeah,
truths?
I couldn't have 4 truths.
I wonder whether that was the reason. Again, it started out really well and then felt like you became unsure.
Yeah, I think the top 2 are definitely correct.
All right, let's bring back the usual suspects and see whether they can cast any light over these shadows. Let's start with Debbie this time, shall we? What do you make of these answers, Debbie?
I don't think I'd change anything. I think he's achieved perfection.
Sean, you have a smile on your face. Is that because you think he's achieved perfection or because you can see something wrong with him?
No, I'm just a happy lad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about B and C again.
OK. Ben, what do you think?
I think they're all right apart from possibly D. I'm not too sure about D.
All right, Richie, the moment of truth. Let's find out how many are correct. 3 out of 4 is not bad, but not the full Monty, I'm afraid. And as a result, the usual suspects have a chance to steal, but only if they can identify the one answer they need to change. So which one's it going to be?
I'm pretty certain about A, B and C, to be honest. Yeah.
I think D's the only questionable one.
Yeah.
Nigel Hawthorne, the actor.
You see, I don't even know who he is, so that's why I've got no idea.
He was the Madness of King George, wasn't he?
Was he?
The actor in that, yeah.
I'm pretty confident that D's the one we need to change.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Is that all right?
happy with that.
Could we change D to true, please?
D changes from false to true, leaving A, B and C as answered by Richie. Very confident that time, Ben. I think first time I've seen you actually be that confident.
Well, you know, there's a first time for everything, isn't there, Nick?
Absolutely right. Let's see whether your confidence has reaped the rewards that you need. Let's have a look. There are 31 days in October. Is that true or false? Yes, it's true. You did the rhyme, Richie, very quickly, and you were very happy with that, and you were quite right too. Triage is a medical term. True or false? Yes, and it is absolutely true. Very well done. Right, these are the key 2, aren't they? The Titanic was over 500 metres long. Is that true or false? It's false. I mean, it's big, but it was 269 metres long. And just as an idea, if you imagine a 400-metre running track and then unravel it and straighten it and add an extra 100 metres, that's a very, very, very long ship, even by Titanic standards. Did you manage to achieve perfection at home? Let's go through the rest of those, shall we? Yeah, Nigel Hawthorne wrote The Scarlet Letter. Is that true or false? Yeah, I'm afraid that's false. Nathaniel Hawthorne wrote The Scarlet Letter. Of course, Nigel Hawthorne, as Sean quite rightly said and tried to point out, is the actor. Usual suspects, had you achieved perfection, you would now have the opportunity to make Richie's chance of winning the prize fund much harder in the final. Let's have a look at the board. Well, after an initial burst of activity from Richie by winning a round, it's been pretty much a virtual desert since, with no one prepared to win a round. So what do we do with the 4 remaining spaces? Well, to fill them in, you'll take it in turns to choose a category. And Richie, as the single player, you get to choose first. So which is the first category you'd like to put into the final?
We'll go with cocktails.
Cocktails goes in. Now I throw it over to the usual suspects.
Rivers?
Yeah.
Rivers, yeah, Rivers, please.
Rivers goes in, all right, and it's back over to Richie.
Salads.
Salads goes into the final. And usual suspects.
Interesting.
Explorers, maybe?
Explorers, yeah.
Yeah.
Explorers, please.
And Explorers makes up the 6. We now know our 6 final categories. They are British TV, comedy duos, cocktails, Rivers, salads, and Explorers. Usual suspects, time to switch you off for the final time. Cheerio. Well, you didn't much fancy rivers, but you know,
It's not
everybody knows a
disastrous,
bit
yeah.
about rivers,
Yeah.
don't
I live near a couple of rivers, so
they?
if
Maybe it
it's
might be one of
two,
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it? And explorers?
Depends on which explorer. Yeah.
Again, everybody knows a few, don't they?
Yeah. So
All right, 4 out of the 6 are your choices. So
Yeah.
going into the final, you've got to be in with a chance, haven't you?
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fingers
Richie, for
crossed, yeah.
£5,000, it's time to play the final. Richie, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £5,000. That'd be handy, wouldn't it?
Amazing.
If you fail, you'd be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects,
Yeah.
as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £6,000 on the next game. So,
Yeah.
let's play the final round. Richie, here are your final 6 categories. They are British TV, comedy duos, cocktails, rivers, salads, and explorers. Now, you must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £5,000. Think carefully. There's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false.
Okay.
British TV. Peaky Blinders is set primarily in Birmingham.
I have never heard of Peaky Blinders, so this will have to be a complete guess. False.
False. Comedy duos. Dawn French was born before Jennifer Saunders.
Tough one. They both look about the same age. True. We'll go true for that one, yeah.
True. Cocktails.
Yeah.
A traditional Tom Collins cocktail contains whiskey.
I think it does. It's not what I've had recently, as I'm not a big whiskey drinker, but I think it does, yes, so true.
True. Rivers. The Volga flows through Germany.
That's not near where I live. I haven't even heard of that river neither, the Volga. I would say that to be false.
False. Salads. Panzanella is a type of salad with tomatoes and bread.
Again, I know a lot of salads, but that's not one of them. Panzanella, I'll say that's true.
True. And
Yeah.
finally, explorers. David Livingstone drowned in Victoria Falls.
Another one I'm not confident with. False.
False. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements. Remember, if you've made one single mistake, you leave with nothing. Which ones
Yeah.
are you worried about?
A, D, and F primarily
A, D, and F. Tough board, actually, wasn't it?
was, yeah. Considering the categories were the ones I chose.
Yeah. All right, let's bring back the usual
Yeah.
suspects and see what they have to say. You can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Richie's answers. Richie, your answers are now locked in, and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you've made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Usual suspects, I'm now going to ask you to tell me how well you think Richie has done, if you want to help, and if you do, how much it will cost him. So, Richie, who would you like to hear from first?
I'll hear from Debbie, please.
I think there's possibly 2 that you've got wrong, but I'm not confident on the answers, so I think I'm going to rule myself out. But good luck.
Thank you. Ben?
There's definitely some you've got right, but there's ones I'm not too sure about, so I'm ruling myself out, but good luck, Richie.
Cheers. And Sean?
There's one I'm pretty sure you got wrong and one that I just don't know, so I'm afraid I'll have to rule myself out too.
Well, negotiations are over. This may be your opportunity. Maybe you've won it all on your own. £5,000
Yeah.
at stake, 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. If the statement turns green, it's true. If it turns red, it's false. Now the negotiations are over and we're about to start, I'm interested to know, Debbie, you thought there was maybe a couple wrong?
Yeah, I'm not certain who's older out of Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders.
Just the one then, was it?
Yeah,
Sean, what do you think?
It was A. I thought Peaky Blinders was set in Birmingham.
Ben?
The only one that I think I'm sure about being correct is F.
Wow, it's a mixed bag there, isn't it, really? Difficult to know what to do with that, really. So, top to bottom or bottom to top? We can start bottom to top. We can put Ben's mind at rest over F, couldn't we, straight away? Let's start there, shall we?
Yeah.
David Livingstone drowned in Victoria Falls. You said false?
Yeah.
We'd like this to turn red for you to get you off to a good start. Is it true or false? Yes, it's false. Quite right, Ben. He died at home, in actual fact. Despite all his trekking all over the place, he died at home. Panzanella is a type of salad with tomatoes and bread. You said this was true. We need this to turn green for you. Is it true or false? It is true. Very well done. The Volga flows through Germany. You said this was false. You were hoping it was going to be one of the rivers near you. Unfortunately, the question was about the Volga. So you said false. We'd like this to turn red for you. If it does, you're halfway to the money all on your own. Is it true or false? It is false. Flows through Russia. A traditional Tom Collins cocktail contains whiskey. You thought this may well be true. If it turns green, you're just 2 away from the £5,000.
Wow.
If it turns red, of course, the money rolls over for the usual suspects. A traditional Tom Collins cocktail contains whiskey. Is that true or false? It's false, I'm afraid. It's gin-based. In
Is that
actual
right?
fact. Yeah. So it means, I'm afraid, you can't achieve perfection and you won't be taking home the £5,000. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's go through the rest of them and see just how close you actually got, Richie.
Yeah.
Dawn French was born before Jennifer Saunders. You said that you thought this was true. Before we reveal this, I'd like to apologise to both Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders for revealing their ages on national TV and using it as a question. Nonetheless, is it true or false? It's true. You're absolutely right, and Dawn is the elder of the two. 4 out of 5 so far. Would you like to miss by just 1, or would you rather miss by 2?
Is that a question as well? Can I get back in the game?
No, I'm sorry, you can't get back in the game.
No, I don't mind.
You don't mind. All right,
No.
Peaky Blinders is set primarily in Birmingham. This was a bit of a guess. Sean thought that it actually was set in Birmingham, and you might have the wrong answer here, and it might be true. So is it true or false? Yeah, it is true. Sean was absolutely right. Usual suspects, great news for you. The prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £6,000. Richie, you failed to achieve perfection, which means you go home with nothing other than our thanks. But I hope you enjoyed yourself nonetheless.
I did have a great day.
I thought you acquitted
Thank you very
yourself
much.
very well. Let's hear it for Richie, everybody. It's now time to meet the next usual suspect, hoping to play perfection today. Usual suspect, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent and I'm a customer service assistant.
Welcome, Emily, and best of luck to all of you as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play perfection. Sean, it's you. Please come down and join me. Sean, welcome to the game. Thanks. Get to know a bit more about you, I think. So I've been reading your bio. Big sports fan.
Yeah, big sports fan, yeah.
Not only watching, but competing?
When I had the body to do it, yes.
The proper rugby or rugby league?
The rugby league.
You're a bit of a writer as well.
I'd
you have
like
ambitions to be.
I love to read, and I've been inspired by some of the books that I've read. So, and I've done a lot of travel, so perhaps combine the two.
All right, well, Sean, it's now you versus the usual suspects. They were your teammates, they're now your enemies. Here's the good news. Nobody's won the last 5 games, so the prize fund currently stands at £6,000. Any idea what you're going to spend that on? You've got a little one at home, haven't you?
I have, yeah. He's 19 months, Aidan. He's a great little boy, yeah. And he's got an uncle out in Melbourne, so I'd love to take the family out to see
Have they met?
him. Yeah, briefly. He was over for a wedding.
Right.
Met him then, but he's got a bit more character now, so I think it'd be more enjoyable.
Well, best of luck, and I hope you do well. 3 rounds and a final to come. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now, so you can't see or hear anything, but as soon as Sean makes a mistake, you'll be back in the game. Cheerio. Sean, when they're like this, you can talk through your answers without giving away any vital knowledge, OK?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then let's play perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds starts now. Greg Rutherford is a 400-metre hurdler.
Greg Rutherford does a long jump, so false.
False. Area 51 is in the USA.
Area 51, I believe they think a spaceship landed there in the USA, so true.
True. Harpies are fictional creatures.
Harpies are winged creatures. I'd say that's true.
True. And finally, 5 Seconds of Summer is an all-girl group.
That I'm not too sure about, but I'll go with false.
False. And with time to spare, you've answered all 4 and very confidently. That sounded like a good round to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got to take a little bit of a punt on that last one that you weren't so sure on.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a boy band. I think they might be Australian now.
Well, we can't find out exactly how many you've got right just yet because we need to have a chat with the usual suspects first. So here are the 4 statements. Let's see what you make of them. Ben, what do you think?
I think it could possibly be a perfection, yeah.
Debbie, can you see anything wrong with these answers?
I've never heard of a harpy, so that would be a guess, and I would guess true. So yes, I agree. I think possibly perfection.
Welcome to the show, Emily.
Hi.
What do you make of these answers?
I'm pretty sure that D's wrong. I'm sure 5 Seconds of Summer are like a little wannabe One Direction kind of band.
All-girl group?
No, the boys. Oh, no, he's got it right.
That's all right, don't worry, Emily. But maybe you've confirmed for him and made him feel more confident. That's all right.
Then I think he's got perfection, yeah.
You do. Thanks, Emily. Sure, the moment of truth. You need to have got all 4 perfectly correct to win the round. Let's see how many are on the button. Congratulations, Sean, you have achieved perfection. Well, if you had any nerves at all coming in here, I'm sure they've gone now with a perfect round.
No, asking the wife permission to come on took nerves enough.
That was it, was it?
Yes.
Because you've had to leave her at home.
With Aidan, yeah, this is downhill all the way.
It's really... All right, let's go through them in more detail, shall we? Greg Rutherford is a 400-metre hurdler. You said that was false, and it is false because, as you said, he's a long jumper. Quite right, too. Area 51 is in the USA. You said this was true, and it is true. Although you did say this is where a spaceship crashed.
Well,
so it's true.
that's
I'm not
the
sure.
rumour.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that's true. But I'd like to think so. It'd be nice to think there was a spaceship there.
Yeah, because nothing bad's happened since, has it?
No. Harpies are fictional creatures, and you said this was true, and indeed it is true. They have the bodies of birds and the faces of women. And finally, 5 Seconds of Summer is an all-girl group, which Emily confirmed is false, and it is false. Very well done, because it is, in fact, an all-boy group, and they are from Australia, so your knowledge was perfect. Congratulations, you have achieved perfection, and as a result of that perfect performance, you've made winning the prize fund a little bit easier, and here's how. This is your final board appearing before you. These 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories, and here are your final round category options, starting with landmarks and running through war films, transport, and onto Shakespeare, with many more in between. Now, because you won the round, you've earned the right to choose 2 categories to add to the board. So, which 2 would you like?
Well, I think, seeing as we mentioned it before, I should go for rugby union.
Rugby union goes into the final?
And I think, being a transport manager, I should go for transport.
And transport goes into the final as well. Well, usual suspects, you didn't really get much of a look in there, did you? He's on fire, doing very well.
He is.
All right, see you very soon. We're switching in you off for the moment. Let's have a look at those. Which 2 would you be avoiding?
I think money is just so general, and I'm not really one for celebrity.
And 2 that you'll be choosing when you get the opportunity.
My degree's in geography, so islands, I'd have to have a plump at that. And I do like films, so war films.
Well, great start to the game by getting perfection first time round. If you can carry that on, it's going to be a breeze for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds start now. Will Smith stars in the 2014 film Edge of Tomorrow.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'll go false.
False. In the book Catch-22, Yossarian is an astronaut.
Catch-22 is about pilots, so I'll say false on that.
False. The footballer Bobby Moore was a striker.
I'm quite confident that Bobby Moore was a defender, so false.
False. And finally, in the TV show Friends, Joey is an only child.
Joey's got a lot of sisters, so that's also false.
False. And again, with time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements very confidently. You're finding this very easy, aren't you?
I told you, I've faced the misses.
Nothing's frightening anymore. Brilliant. I mean, unless, of course, you got one wrong. All right, then. Well, we need to have a chat with the usual suspects first. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Sean's answers. Emily, start us off this time. What do you think?
I can't comment on Catch-22 because I've not read it, but I know that all the others are right, so he's probably got perfection on this one.
Debbie?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's done really well again, and I think he's achieved perfection.
Ben, this can't be true. He can't have achieved perfection twice in a row, can he?
But anything's possible, Nick. So I'm going to say, yeah, I think he probably has as well.
Well, they think you might have achieved perfection again here. Let's find out how many are correct. Congratulations, Sean. You have achieved perfection again. Wow, money might be in trouble here. Usual suspects. He's looking very strong, isn't he? Let's go through them in more detail. Will Smith stars in the 2014 film Edge of Tomorrow. You thought that was false, and it is false. Do you know who the big star is of that?
I think it's Tom Cruise.
Absolutely right. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt are the main stars of that film, certainly not Will Smith. In the book Catch-22, Yossarian was an astronaut. You said this was false because you thought he was a pilot.
Yeah.
And it is false because he's a captain in the Air Force. The footballer Bobby Moore was a striker. You said this was false. And it is, of course, false because he was a central defender.
Yeah.
And in the TV show Friends, Joey is an only child. Is that true or false? And it is false because you knew that he had sisters. Yeah, 7 sisters in actual fact. So very well played. Sean, as a result of that perfect performance, you've made winning the prize fund of £6,000 a little easier. Let's have a look at the final board. 2 subject categories chosen by you, and because you won that round, you get to choose the next 2 as well.
I shall go for islands
Islands goes in,
and war films.
and war films makes it into the final. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? Usual suspects, really? That £6,000 could disappear, be reset to £1,000. He's on fire down here.
He is.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Yes.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. All right, well, usual suspects going to switch you off for now. We'll see you in the next round where you might get a look in there. And away they go. Sean, well done by choosing your own categories. Hopefully you are making the final that much easier. Let's see if we can make it a clean sweep, shall we?
Yeah,
Ready to play on?
I am.
Let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds starts now. There is a type of hat known as a pork pie.
There was a program called Desmond's, and I think there was a guy called Pork Pie on that, so true.
True. Dundee is located on the shores of Loch Ness.
I think Dundee's on the coast, so I'll say false.
False. Croquet is a process of creating fabric from yarn.
Well, I think that's a game played on a lawn, so that's false.
False. And finally, Scary Movie was the working title of Scream.
I would hazard a guess that that's false.
False. And you've answered all 4 again. And the only one really that you didn't sound absolutely confident on was the last one.
Yeah, perhaps C as well. Croquet or crochet. I think the spelling's different.
All right, Sean, you answered all 4 statements. Let's find out what the usual suspects have to say on this one. Let's see how we do this time. Ben, has Sean achieved perfection again?
Yes.
Really?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
You're flying the white flag already, are you?
Pretty much.
Debbie, can you see anything wrong with these answers?
No, I really think he's done it again.
Emily?
Annoyingly, yeah.
Bit of a white flag there from the usual suspects. Let's find out how many are correct. Look, a big groan from the audience. Everybody's got so used to you doing 4 out of 4. 3 out of 4 is a great score, but there's a small chink of light for the usual suspects here. There is one answer that needs changing. You can steal the round here and maybe get to choose a couple of categories in the final if you can decide, usual suspects, which one of those answers is wrong.
The one I would probably be most likely to change is D, but that's just because of a hunch. It's not for
I
any real
don't-
reason.
Yeah, D's Scary Movie is like a completely different film
To
from
Scream.
Scream. It's like
Yeah.
a spoof, isn't it?
But I wonder whether they, the reason it's called Scary Movie is because that was initially what they were going to call Scream, and it's like a bit of a joke because it's a bit of a.
Ah, that's a good point. It'd be B or D. It's your call.
Thanks.
So welcome.
It'd be for me, I think, but it would be a guess. Sorry.
Push you towards B.
Well, if you two both think it's B, then we'll have to go with B.
Don't put the blame on us.
I think B.
Okay. Could we change
Stick with
B from false to true, please?
All right, B changes from false to true, leaving A, C, and D as answered by Sean. Usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. There is a type of hat known as a pork pie. Is that true or false? It is true. Dundee is located on the shores of Loch Ness. True or false? False. It's on the Firth of Tay. It is not on the shores of Loch Ness. So, usual suspects, you failed to achieve perfection. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. So which one was it that you should have changed? Croquet is a process of creating fabric from yarn. True or false? Yes, of course, that is false. It's crochet, which is fabric from yarn. Croquet is the lawn game that you play with a mallet. So finally, Scary Movie was the working title of Scream. True or false? True. And do you know, interestingly, for exactly the reason that Ben put forward. The working title of the film Scream was Scary Movie. So then when they made the series of comedy films Scary Movie, they named it after the working title of the original film they were taking the mick out of. So, well, you kind of missed an opportunity here. Usual suspects, if you had have achieved perfection, you would now have the opportunity to make Sean's chances of winning the prize fund a little harder. Let's have a look at the final board. We have 2 spaces left to fill, and with nobody winning round 3, what do? Well, you take it in turns to select a category, and Sean, as the single player, you get to choose first.
I think I'll take a bit of a punt on cards. Please.
Cards goes into the final. And usual suspects, this is the one opportunity you have to pick a category to try and trip him up and save that £6,000.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I was going to go straight to that.
Shakespeare, please.
Shakespeare goes into the final. We now know our 6 final categories. They are rugby union, transport islands, war films, cards, and Shakespeare. I wonder whether you've done enough usual suspects. Time to switch you off. We'll see you a bit later. Shakespeare?
It's a hit and miss one.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not too clued up on my Shakespeare, but I think I know the basics.
But that is a board where you have chosen 5 out of the 6 categories, and in the rounds that you have got 11 out of 12 questions right. You're doing really well. You've got to be in with a good chance there, haven't you?
I hope so.
Yeah. Sean, for £6,000, it's time to play the final. Sean, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £6,000. If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £7,000 on the next game. And you've got to worry. There's no doubt about that. Let's play the final round. Here are your final 6 categories, Sean. They are rugby union, transport, islands, war films, cards, and Shakespeare. Now, you must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £6,000. Think carefully. There's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Rugby union. England won the 1991 Men's Rugby Union World Cup.
No, they lost the final. It was the 2003 one they won. So that is false.
False. Transport. Moscow has an underground metro system.
I've never been to Russia, so this will be a bit of a guess. I would imagine they do have. Trying to think back to my spy books. I go true.
True. Islands. Bora Bora is an island in the Indian Ocean.
Bora Bora. I'm going to say true.
True. War films. Oliver Stone directed Saving Private Ryan.
Don't think Oliver Stone did do that one. I'm going to say false.
False. Cards. Spite and Malice is the name of a card game.
Spite and Malice. There's quite a few different names for different card games. It's not one that I've heard of. I'm going to say false.
False. And finally, the only category chosen for you by the usual suspects, Shakespeare. William III is a Shakespeare play.
He did a lot of royal plays, but I'm not sure if William III was one of them. So I'm going to say false.
False. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements, and those answers are now locked in. Remember, if you've made one single mistake, then obviously you go home with nothing. Which ones are you worried about?
I'm confident on A. B, I'm reasonably sure. C, no. D, reasonably sure. E, no. And F, not sure about either.
So C, E, F are the ones really that are troubling you.
I want the other questions for this one.
I'm afraid this is where you are. But who knows how you've done at this stage. Let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. So you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Sean's answers. Sean, your answers are now locked in and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you've made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. Sean, who would you like to hear from first?
As long as Emily's read the questions this time, I'll hear from her, please.
I'm only sure on about 2 answers, and the rest of them I'm absolutely clueless, so I'm going to do us both a favour and rule me out. I'm sorry.
Debbie?
There's one there I think you've got wrong. I'm not 100% certain, but you've done really well. Wish you the best of luck, but I'm ruling myself out.
Ben?
I think there's one that's wrong, but again, I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, I'm not going to inflict my indecision on you. I'm going to rule myself out, I think.
Well, negotiations are over. They were particularly keen to help out. £6,000 at stake, 6 answers away. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. If the statement turns green, it's true. If it turns red, it's false. Right, now the negotiations are over and we're about to start. I'm interested to know, Debbie, which one did you think was wrong?
I think E, I think the card game, there's a possibility I've heard of malice being true.
Really? And Ben, you were sort of toying with the idea. You said there was one that was worrying you?
Yeah, I thought possibly F was true, but I don't really know Shakespeare that well, so I couldn't be entirely sure.
Okay. And Emily?
I just know that Oliver Stone didn't direct Saving Private Ryan. I knew he got 2 right, but I wasn't sure on the rest of them.
Oh,
so.
okay, fair enough. Well, there's a mixed bag there, really, isn't it? Let's start and find out, shall we? Let's start up the top there. England won the 1991 Men's Rugby Union World Cup. You said this was false because you thought they lost in the final. To who did you think they lost in the
I
final?
think that year was Australia. I think.
Okay, well, let's find out straight away whether it's true or false. We need it to turn red because you said false. And it is false. Very well done for all the reasons that you just said. To be fair, they did lose in the final to Australia. Let's move on. Moscow had an underground metro system. Now, not having been there, you relied on your knowledge of your spy books and decided that it was true. If you're right, this will turn green. Is it true or false? It is true. Moving on. Bora Bora is an island in the Indian Ocean. You said true, we need this to turn green. If it turns green, you're halfway to the money, all on your own. If it turns red, the money rolls over for the usual suspects. Is it true or false? It's false, I'm afraid.
Is it the Pacific?
It is in the Pacific. Do you know, I had a feeling you had an inkling about something else there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pacific, I'm afraid. It means you haven't achieved perfection. It means you won't be taking home the cash. Wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's see how close you got as well, Sean. Oliver Stone directed Saving Private Ryan. Well, Emily's absolutely sure that you've done well here. You said false. Is it true or false? Yeah, it is false. Quite right, too. Steven Spielberg directed Saving Private Ryan. Spite and Malice is the name of a card game. Now, you said this was false. Debbie thought this one might be correct, in actual fact. So is that true or false? Yeah, that's true. Finally, William III is a Shakespeare play. You said this was false. And is it true or false? Yeah, it is false. William III was born well after Shakespeare died. So he couldn't have written about William III because there wasn't one at that stage. What's really interesting about that, I think, is that, Debbie, if you'd have come down to change Spite and Malice and opened up the board, I think you might have reconsidered Bora Bora.
No.
You wouldn't have done?
No.
All
All right, you've got me, Nick. You've got me, yeah. I'm out.
Well, either way, you haven't done it. It's kind of good news for you anyway, Debbie, because the good news is the prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £7,000. And Sean, do you know what? I would have liked you to have won that because I thought you played amazingly during the previous rounds and you did really well in the final there. Just those 2 that tripped you up there. I think you should be very proud of yourself. You enjoyed playing?
Oh, I loved it.
You should maybe get out a bit more. Of course, depends on whether the wife will let you enter a few more, but give her our regards and indeed your lovely son as well. And good luck with getting around the world and seeing the rest of the family as well. Let's hear it for Sean, everybody. That's all we have time for. Please join us next time when our usual suspects have the chance to play again, this time for £7,000. It's stacking up, isn't it? But remember, on this show, we will only pay for absolute perfection. Goodbye.